let's do a little recap and figure out where we're going to go with today's session. What did we do last week?
I think well, at the beginning we did like higher speed roads, and then we did parallel parking.
Yeah.
At the end.
And how did you get on with your parallel parking? So that was
good.
new, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was new. That was good.
Yeah.
I think last lesson we said that was maybe a point of reference to where to take off for this lesson. And then I think you said the emergency brake, because we haven't done that, and it's...
Okay.
She said there's a lot more to it than just stamping on the brake.
Yeah, you don't want to stamp on the brakes.
You slowly ease on it, don't you? But fairly quickly.
That's right. Okay then, so do you want to... So is the plan then to recap your parallel parking and then look and bring in the new, well, new for us, emergency stop?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been doing the parallel park this week in your own? Have you done it? Have you done it since?
No.
No. And how are you feeling in terms of where we left off? Is it going to be a case of me helping you, or do you want to see where you are and we can discuss it after?
Yeah, because I'm quite lucky. I have quite a good long-term memory, so I sort of remember like the steps of doing it. I think last time instead of doing like full left and then go to 1 o'clock, so you sort of come in, I sort of held it on the lock too long, so I ended up having to do full right, and I sort of corrected myself but accidentally.
You come in at a sharper angle, did you? Rather than a 1 o'clock?
Yeah, I came
and come
in
back.
2 or 3.
2, which meant you'd got to steer earlier to get it back in. Yeah. But it worked.
Yeah.
That's another thing. If you can do it and it works, if you can do, if you but you did wrong right, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that's you know, it's important to be able to do that, to be able to look at something and think, that's happened, but I can sort that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's the case, as long as it's safe, there's no problem at all with that. You can even figure out your own reference if you want to, and just stick with it. It's absolutely fine if it works. So, is there anything with you said we did some faster driving last week? Are you feeling good with that? Any issues there that you're aware of or want me to help you with today to get to where we're going to go?
I don't think so. I think the last time, the main things that it was just keeping like up to progress with the road, and then obviously with overtaking, like get to the speed before you overtake. Don't like go out and then speed up. That makes sense.
So basically, a big thing from what it sounds like is just holding the speed.
Yeah and no. I think I've got used to keeping up the speed now, because I did some dual carriageway on Thursday, I think it was, when I was doing the speed limit. Then I had to overtake this truck, so I remembered to get to the speed before I overtake.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
So is that what you mean by when you said yeah and no, as in to be following the truck you couldn't be at 70 because you'd have been in the back of the truck, and then when to overtake it's foot down before you move out? Is that, am I on the right track there?
Something like that,
yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, so do you want any help with any of it, or are you good for the time being? How do you feel?
So if I do anything wrong or there's something I need to do, just let me know.
Will do.
I think that's
okay.
Yeah, I think just trying to get used to doing it in my head. But yeah. Okay.
All right then, I will leave you to it, unless, like you said, and then I'll give you some advice or whatever.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Feedback should be good.
Yeah, I'll feedback then.
Yeah.
Throughout. Yeah. Okay. So when you're ready, we'll head towards the exit and we'll drive on.
Good start, fan reverse.
Never a bad thing, is it, when you've got railings in front of you?
Yeah.
check his shoulder.
Yeah.
So when you reach the roundabout, go straight on. Second exit.
So there's only use the indicator, don't I, to
Correct.
turn left.
That's it, good timing. Because if you use it on the approach, it says you're turning left, doesn't it? And you're not.
Yeah, I think that was also another thing. Like, I think, you know the roundabout of the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I came off there, I didn't go over enough lanes to...
Oh, when you were stuck on the inside, not able to come off.
No, I was stuck on the outside and I needed to go in a lane, so I wanted to go round one more.
Oh,
So I
okay.
had to sort of have to jump over 2 lanes.
Yeah.
So I was in the right lane.
It's probably an area we should look to cover more, like spiral roundabouts and following lanes and lines and yeah.
So I think I'll get a bit confused at some points.
Bear that in mind going forward. So a left turn here, please, Jack. When was that, this week in your own car?
Yeah, it's Thursday, I think it was.
Because you've mentioned that to me before, that roundabout as well.
Yeah.
Would you say there's a little bit of uncertainty with it?
Yeah, it's just a lot of lines. And I think my brain just gets a bit...
It's spotting the line when it starts and seeing if it's applicable to you, I think.
Yeah.
Which I can help you with if we focus on it. Yeah, that was good timing.
Just need to get used to my brakes
At the roundabout ahead, we'll go in second exit. So what directions normally? Yep. Because normally second exit is usually straight on, and if you use that sign there, you can just identify whether it's. If second exit was over like a 2 o'clock angle, you might use that lane. Nice one. Well done. So this road's going to put us onto the A52. When we get to the end, we're only going to be on it for about 1 mile, if that. When we get to the end, we'll be turning right.
And if this route, it goes round to...
Yeah, you get onto the A52 first.
merges on, isn't it?
Well done. Like I say, we're going to be on here for about 1 mile before the road finishes.
Yeah.
Then be turning right at the roundabout at the end. Now that roundabout's got a bit of a spiral on it and the lanes sort of move you across. So do you want me to talk you through it and sort of try and help you with your understanding as to...
Yes, please.
Now the key is to know where you're going on these roundabouts, you know the general direction. And our general direction is Chaddeston, it's a right turn, okay? So because the roundabout's only half a mile away, I would look to plan, because we're on such a busy road, to get across before all that, you know, they start catching up. Because in a moment you're going to see brake lights come on, and that's going to, you're going to have no time to get across. Just ease off to let that van go first, to let it get a gap. Signal on there between you and the silver. Just up my instruction there, because I think if you hadn't have started it and it didn't look like you was about to, we'd have ran out of time. 300 yards from here, look. And if the traffic's backing up, there's even less time. So Chaddeston, look, let's count the exits. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4th exit, yeah? I think I might have said 5th earlier, but that's why you should always double check.
No bike this time.
Oh yeah, it was in that lane, weren't they?
Yeah.
About where that BMW is now.
Yeah.
So pop the right signal on, and it's 4th exit. So if we count the exits as well, that's going to be really useful. So I'm going to lead the way in terms of the instruction. Ease back from the coach a bit so you can count your exits.
That's 1 on the left.
Right, we've got 1. You're still in the right hand lane. No white paint moving us out yet. And there's some paint there, look.
That's 2.
So follow this, so we're going round, aren't we, into the middle lane now for Chad, because that's our destination, yes?
Yeah. So I need to come off here, don't I?
No, because it was 4th exit.
Yeah. It goes round one more, doesn't it?
Correct. And so look at what it says on the floor there, where that Ford is now. Can you read it?
No, I can't read that on my floor. Oh, yeah, Chad.
Yeah. So we're in the correct lane and we're following that round. If that's 3rd exit, we're not going down that one, are we, where that next lorry's going?
No. Indicate one.
I wouldn't.
No?
Because you're in the middle lane, it's going to give the impression you're turning right. So on these particular roundabouts, it's more confusing than good. Make sure nobody else is running a red light, because it's notorious there for running red lights. Then you see numerous cars get wiped out. So here, ease off the gas because our light's on red and signal right here. Now it is meaningful, because we could also go left, but because we're turning right, we're braking, aren't we? If that car behind isn't braking and is speeding up, we could surprise it and it could hit us in the back. So we've gone from right lane to middle to left. See how that works?
Yeah.
So knowing where you're going and the destination and the number of the exit is key. So that's a good opportunity to have a look at that based on what you'd said earlier. Yeah, and I wouldn't signal left like it was going to, because yeah, we're not going to play cricket, are we? Anybody else doing the same? So try and spot those arrows a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So you want to see him coming, don't you? You don't want to check when he's already at the side of you.
No.
Because you might need to slow down before he gets there. What do you see up in the distance?
Big fire truck.
Okay. If we speed up a bit, it makes sense for the fire truck to come down this side of the road, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if we speed up a little bit more, yeah,
Buses.
turn left where the bus is. And we can turn, yeah, and we can get out the way that way. Nice and steady, got loads of time. And I bet you any money that some of them cars in that left-hand lane was up on the pavement.
Yeah, they were.
Absolutely ridiculous to even consider that the fire engine are going to go in that lane when the right-hand lane's clear. Straight ahead here, Jack, please. People don't think logically sometimes with them blue lights. They just do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Smash all the wheels up and that. So we weren't meant to come this way, but I felt that, I don't know, there's a few other options we could have took, but so if you take the right turn at the mini roundabout, one I thought it was, so... let's see what we can or can't do at the end. We've got a junction, haven't we, on the left there? Any restrictions? Let's turn left there. If there's no restrictions, which I don't see if there's any. And then could you go turn left here and turn right when you reach the end of the road? I know there's the end, so I can see paint and obviously the houses in front. Could be a bend actually, but I think I could see paint going across.
Yeah, there's a good way line. Turn it right.
Yes, please. Be a good one for your hill start, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that.
Probably not so good for your clutch, depending on what stage the the customer's at.
Yeah.
But even here, you could come off the pedals and let the car just carry itself up by itself.
How? Wait.
Try. Come on. Put your feet on the floor. Don't touch them. Don't touch anything. Because the connection's made between the gas and the clutch. Sorry, the connection between the engine and the wheels. It'll just even over the speed bump, look. So that's where, you know, like most people don't understand that you can do that. Yeah, it was rumbling a bit. Never going to stall though, was it? You could tell, surely.
Yeah, it's sort of
A man of your calibre.
idled at itself, didn't it?
Sorry?
It's sort of like idled at where
Yeah,
it was.
that's exactly where it does. In any gear, any time. So let's turn left at the Mini.
You didn't even see me. Too busy looking right.
Just use the pedals there. So we give way to our right, don't we? And that one was coming on our right. So you was going to go, you'd have drove straight into it, I reckon. Okay. I'm just going to come off the pedals. Have you got everything you need?
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah. You got everything?
Yeah.
Because I'm coming, I'm off. So what do you think about that?
Well,
Does it make sense?
he was, yeah. I think the reason I was going to go was because that man was coming across to past us. I went, whilst he's doing that gives me time to go.
Yeah, in theory it does.
And then, but she obviously just put her foot down and
She should have given way to that one on the right.
yeah, as well.
You was expecting that to happen, weren't you?
Yeah, which was wild.
Never expect it. We do expect it, but know that it might not happen. So don't act on what you think should happen. Only act when it's actually happening, or else you could misjudge and end up killing yourself or somebody else. So turn right, please, at the end. Lovely. In terms of having breaks with the lessons, you see what I mean? Like, you want to keep building and developing and getting experience with different driving scenarios. You start having a week break in between each one. If that comes up, you're not potentially going to be developing it the next week. You could forget bits. There's still much to learn, you know. How did that make you feel?
But when you brake,
Yeah.
my first thing that came in.
Is that the first time I've had to do that for you?
Yeah, I think first two things that sort of came in my head at the same time was, don't panic, and then I realised why you did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like the worst thing to do, is to panic.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You won't be able to think straight, will you, if you do?
No.
So, you won't be able to find the best solution. And we're going to take the next road on the left. It's just after that bus stop. Example of turning into a junction in third gear there. Very, very, very controlled. And that was intentional, wasn't it, you selecting third?
Yeah.
Because some people do it because they don't mean to do it. But I could tell that was just feeding back to you, really, like you said.
No, thank you.
Because I think it's important to know that what you're doing is good.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know to keep doing, or not keep doing it, but consider it in future.
Yeah.
Or to not consider it in future. We weren't slowing down, was it? Let's take the next left. At the end, turn right. What a dangerous bend, especially with them vans parked on the corner. Because if someone comes round, have a guess whose side of the road it's in.
Yeah.
Good, isn't it? So let's turn left, please, Jack, at the end of the road.
Place to park, isn't it? It's actually illegal, isn't it?
You shouldn't be within 10 metres of a junction. And then I want you to pull up before the red, I believe it's a Zafira, on the left. Just pull up well before it. Well done. So, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. I got used to the car again now.
Yeah?
Got used to the brakes. Yeah, I think that went pretty well, apart from when you see the roundabout, but I think we were sort of both in the wrong. That made sense. Or do you not?
Who was?
Me and the other car. Because she should have given way to the right, and
Should
she sped up, and I should have given way to the right as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. She there was a car already waiting on the right, but the car was already stopped, and she just didn't slow. Sometimes it might be because the car. Sometimes it's because when that happens is because, let's say it was coming from our right. If she was coming from our right and she starts slowing, and that other car doesn't take the hint and doesn't go, she might carry on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works like that, but there wasn't even that. She just powered through. So what's the main lesson you learnt from that situation?
The main thing is just be patient and definitely wait until there is a gap. I think
Till it's actually physically
safe
doable,
to go, yeah.
not in theory.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it really. I think that's all we need to discuss in terms of the Drive Alpha.
Was there anything else?
How did you find that roundabout, by the way? That spiral roundabout, the Pentagon roundabout. Did that make sense what we did there, and why we did what we did?
Yeah, we stayed on the right because we knew we were going round further than everyone else on the outside of the roundabout. So, sort of, well, as example is we were going round. Each time we sort of got to a traffic light, we sort of moved over one, because they're normally just before, in the middle of a junction, aren't they? Traffic lights.
Yeah.
So that's sort of them telling you can move over and just get yourself a place where you need to go.
It's normally after every exit the lane moves over one.
Yeah.
Not always, but normally.
Yeah.
So your job is to look for the spiral. Do you see where I said up? Do you see that paint line and it's coming outwards? So we just follow it outwards. It's not an actual lane change, just follow it.
Yeah.
I think it was the second exit and it said Chad on the floor just as we come under the bridge. If you rewind the footage back, you'll see it. And that's how they all work. And so obviously we'll start looking more in depth at them and just make sure you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess probably a good one to start with or to look at is the one that you're talking about near the hospital.
Yeah.
So if we get time towards the end of the lesson, that might be a nice place. Tell me what you think, a nice place to start with spiral roundabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, do you want to recap your parallel park?
Yes, I think that'd be a good. Yeah.
Which way are you going to be reversing? Are you going to be reversing downhill or uphill?
Uphill.
Yeah. Now, to hold yourself still, obviously you're going to be at the bite.
Yeah.
You're going to need some gas. Now, the key is we don't want to burn the clutch out by being... And I want you to control it well, so I want you to sort of... There might be times where we nearly held still. So, not too much gas, basically, but make sure there is some gas.
Okay.
Alright, so as you could start to burn the clutch in there. Alright. When I say, okay, just as a reference, about 1,000 revs.
Okay.
Just to clarify what I mean by not to, because I could mean anything, couldn't I? Just got to be. I've got to be more definite than that. I'm asking you to do something.
It's just feathering it almost, aren't you? Just
Yeah,
like
kind of.
10p.
That's it. Just a slight amount, just so you got some.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay then. So I'll leave you to it as we discussed earlier, and won't intervene unless there's anything.
Yeah. Do you think
Safety critical.
I should set my mirror now, or when I get next to it?
So, I mean, on the one hand, you could argue you're going to check it to move off. On the other hand, you could say, well, you're going to check your left shoulder anyway.
Yeah.
And it's going to save maybe a second when you're in the middle of the road, which is probably
And
quite a good thing to do.
Junction as well.
Yeah, so we don't want to be there. Obviously we don't want to be there longer than we need to. We also don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
So, from that, what do you think you should do?
I think I would set it.
Yeah, set it.
Or,
There is no right or wrong answer, but I think sometimes it's working out what works best, what based on the benefits. And in terms of practicing it opposite a junction, what have you got to be aware of?
what's in front, what's behind, and what's beside me.
So you're going to check that right shoulder anyway, but I think even more so because there's a bigger possibility.
Yeah, I think that's what I didn't do as much last time. To check the right shoulder as much.
And at what point? Do you remember at what point it was that you missed it particularly, or
it was
do you
just
not?
going back in. Like, I did look over it once or twice, but it wasn't enough. Yeah.
The time it's really critical to check it is when before you put the steer on and to make the car go out to the 1 o'clock angle.
Yeah.
You know, before it does that.
Okay.
And then just keep up to date with it. Then just best thing I could say is just have sweeping glances all the time around the car.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna miss anything then. All right.
What's this guy doing?
So we'll drive on when you're ready. Looks a bit suspect, that.
Yeah.
Honestly thought he was going to knock the window.
I thought he was going to hit a window because he's just standing there, looked around him. What's he doing?
He's lost some his marbles.
I think he's lost more than that. There's a car coming. No, it's not.
What might that Mini do?
It's coming out.
Yeah. It'll work. And to be fair, you're not gonna. I mean, you're not gonna stop people from getting past you because you've got the mouth of that junction there as well. Yeah, ideally, you might be a touch closer in future. You could have been a bit more thorough with your checks as well. Well done. It's good there so far. Stay straighter for longer.
It's now.
Yeah, fantastic. Not bad. It's good, that is. It's good, it's dead good. There's nothing really to say.
I think the only thing I would change about that, I think I could have got a bit closer.
What, then or now?
Just then. Like close to the car as it pulling up.
Oh right, yeah. On a tighter road it could matter, because some people are persistent about getting round you, so if we can leave a gap for them to just crack on and get out of our sight, basically. That's better sometimes. It depends on their characteristics, I guess.
So I remembered, obviously, like, coming back in, sort of like door handle should be above the curb.
Yeah.
Before you turn in.
That's right. So when you, sorry, go on.
Well, that's like a reference of it anyway.
That's it. So when you said to me, I'm a bit far out, yeah, you was meant to be at that point because you hadn't travelled with your tyre straight far enough for the reference point you've just said.
Yeah.
So I think you understand all that, don't you?
Yeah.
Anything you want to go over again, or?
No.
Second time was much better setting up.
Yeah.
Still not quite at the bike, but it wasn't enough really to make anything of. There's nothing in that really.
Yeah.
Rolled forward about that much. The examiners won't even mention that. There's nothing. The point is you can regain control.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big thing before it develops into something else. So yeah, I think. What do you want to do? Do you want to have another go with that, or are you good? How do you feel?
I think I have one more go.
All right. Do you want to use the same place or something different?
What would you suggest? What do you think somewhere different might be good, because it's doing it in lots of different places? Or
I think so. Different scenarios, different traffic. Sometimes you have to do this on a relatively busy road. Depends on where you live. You've got a nice driveway, but if you're visiting friends and stuff, or especially if they're living uni accommodation, things like that, sometimes if they're like, you've got to do this. So no matter on what the conditions are, you've got to park. So I don't think it's a bad thing if we look for a street that's maybe a touch busier than this. Because if you have vehicles around you waiting, I don't think we've had that scenario yet. That would be interesting. And this is our first manoeuvre, I believe, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you do if a vehicle or a pedestrian was walking towards the area you were driving into?
I'd stop.
Yeah, and what are you stopping for? What are you trying to do by stopping?
I don't know, just stop making myself a hazard.
Exactly. You're going to be less danger to others when you're stationary. But I think that really we just want to stop to assess what they're doing. Are they going to go and try and force their way past, or are they going to wait? Let's assess the situation. We don't necessarily have to stop completely. We might be rolling really, 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 really slowly, ultimately stopping. But let's just suss it out and then proceed with caution when it's safe to, Okay. So that's it really. So yeah, drive on when you're ready. just reset your left mirror for you before you drive on. And what's your visibility like looking down the road past the red car?
I can see right down to the bend.
Good stuff.
If I can...
Here's a quick one for you. If you find a bite point downhill, what would that do to your speed moving off? If you're facing downhill and you're going to move off downhill and then you find a bite point as well, is that going to make you faster or slower?
Fast.
Yeah, and because that red car's quite close,
Yeah.
you can have to do a lot more steering, and that's going to make the car come out, and then you have to come in. Plus you don't want to hit the red car, so do you want to be faster or slower to allow for that, or do you reckon faster or slower?
So you don't hit the car.
And so
I
you
was
can
going to reverse back a little bit.
Okay.
What would you say we could get out?
Yeah,
forward?
and I think it's probably worth practicing
Try.
that skill.
Okay.
I'm really glad you've got the initiative to reverse, because sometimes that might be the option. But that's why I said to you, can you see down the road? And yes, you said.
Okay.
So if you can see, and we can get out here, let's say somebody parked behind us and blocked us in, we wouldn't have the option to reverse.
No.
So it's just worth going over it.
Okay.
So what I'd do is I'd have my left foot on the floor, in first, but on the floor.
Yeah.
Squeeze on the foot brake, release the handbrake, keep the left foot firmly on the floor, but don't let go of the foot brake till you've done your checks, and then you just need to ease on and off your brake as required to get round,
Okay.
and keep the clutch on the floor until you're ready to actually, till you're in the road basically.
So no one around us. No need for
Full lock on. That's it. It's called a rolling start, this is.
I'm going to need some clutch.
Okay. That's it. Worth going over that, I reckon.
Yeah.
So always think about that. If you're taking off downhill, sometimes you can move off in second and then just ease the clutch up. No gas even, because the car's already, its wheels have got momentum, like it's already travelling.
Yeah.
So it's doable. Most instructors won't teach stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's good to learn, just like little tips and tricks in a way.
It just helps you with your understanding of the control. Turn right at the end, please. But there's more than one way of doing things, and I think that's important to realise,
Yeah, I suppose it's like, I don't know, just turning with skis or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's two ways to do it in a way. Like you can either dig your heels in, or you can try and turn your feet.
You're talking from experience?
Yes and no.
Yeah. Good to see him doing the speed limit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you turned it in third earlier.
Yeah.
Somebody would be like, I bet there'll be people watching this thinking, oh, third gear, turning in, oh gosh. Bob, my instructor, said never do that. Turn right, please, at the end. But he didn't give me a reason why, probably. So for those of you that are watching, if your instructors aren't giving you reasons why you should do things, why you shouldn't do things, they need to be, and you must ask them why. What's the reason? Should be somewhere soon. What are you laughing at?
No, you said it should be somewhere soon. There's
straight at the end.
So funny.
Oh, I think I might have seen it. I think I know which one you're on about.
Should have been first then.
Yes. You have been leaving it. It's only because you're quite skillful in putting it in and sorting your feet out quite quick. You're getting away with it, but I feel you've been leaving it a touch late for first gear generally. Try and do it about half a car length or a car length sooner than you are, and I think you'll be much better going forwards with that. You know, in terms of being ready earlier and now just like struggling from the car or even forgetting like that. Yeah. I'm guessing you forgot to select first.
I think what I did was I've got enough momentum to go, and then because I was too busy watching the road, I just forgot to go into first. So yeah, did forget in a way.
She clearly didn't understand driving.
No.
I don't know what was up with her, do you?
No.
I absolutely
If anything,
no.
she was in the wrong. She was just sitting in the road.
I know, she was coming too fast round a blind bend. She put herself into a situation she couldn't stop in time or reverse. She could have reversed, but why would she with that attitude? But there you go. The idea is rise above, don't be dragged down to their level. That's her wallowing her own stupidity.
It's quite funny watching some people's road rage.
Well, it's them that are getting raged, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny to watch them sometimes.
And if I think it is, the funny thing is, if people see you not getting raged or not even making eye contact,
They get even angrier.
they're getting mad at themselves, which is hilarious. I've watched them before at the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
You just watch them getting mad at themselves. You think, to them, it looks like I've not even seen them. I can see them, but I've not looked at them. You know what I mean? Spotted. Hopefully, we're going to find somewhere soon. So I think this hill's too steep really. We could end up knackering all the clutch and that.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
Yeah, not really. How's athletics going?
I haven't been for it, so I've been actually quite ill.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I'd never know.
No, it's just I just wasn't eating for some reason, but better now, so
Back to your best.
yeah, should be going back to training next week.
Yeah. So we'll turn left at the end. That's better timing.
Do you sometimes feel like it's a bit hard to get into first, or is that just how
Yeah,
cars naturally work?
You have got to sort of be a bit sort of follow through with it as you
Yeah,
push.
you've got really,
But if you have too much left angle on it, it gets stuck in the jaws of reverse. You can't go into reverse because you have to lift the lever, but there's still a little notch where you could start to go into it, but obviously it stops it. So the trick is to put left pressure on and let go slightly as you push forward. Let go of the left pressure slightly as you push, yeah. That does it. I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, 'cause sometimes it just slots in really easy, but sometimes I have to go to push it in and have to come off it, then push it again.
I know what you mean. So yeah, just try that. Turning left at the end, please. let the car keep carrying on at speed and just steer faster, because the van could clip you because it might expect you to keep going, and then you brake. Take next right, please. So it might be slightly busier on this street, so we'll try and you know, find a situation where we can do this, where we might have cars waiting for us, just to see how you deal with that, because that's yeah, and that's like the worst case, one of the worst case scenarios on the test, you could say. So let's cover all the angles with this train. Do you see the black Corsa with the 2 roller skate stripes?
Yeah.
Pull up on the left before you reach that one. I don't know where roller skate stripes come from. No idea.
Racing stripes.
Racing stripes, yeah. On your Corsa. Makes it go faster. Yeah. All right then. Show me what you can do. Do you want anything from me, or just so we're both on clear?
I think same as last time. Just if I need to do something, let me know.
Yeah.
And feedback after.
Okay.
It could be good.
Will do.
Going down there.
Good, you got yourself a bit closer then.
Yeah.
Before you start moving, how do you know that van's not going to go around the side? You're up on the pavement.
Yeah.
If you start moving and swinging, okay, now it's different. It's responding. Do you see what I mean? Right shoulder, could be somebody coming round you. That's good. Now don't rush it.
Got to set my mirror.
It's okay, you can do it now, not a problem at all. Take your time. Anything behind you? You've not looked behind you for a while there.
I kept looking in my rearview mirror. It was why I was not looking back.
Okay.
Close to the curb, aren't I?
It's just about to hit it, yeah. So before we do this, why do you think this time you've got close to the curb? What do you think the main reason is?
Because I went too far back. Or
I don't think so. I think it was okay. Nice little sort of 1 o'clock angle. I think though the traffic made you rush. Not rush, but
Yeah.
it made the whole thing faster. It made you late, and you may have been about to forget the right shoulder. I just reminded you to check it. So I think if you, just because there's cars coming, don't be in a rush to get started, and you might, because do you see what I mean by how that van could have got around you?
yeah.
You don't know at that point. It depends on what the driver really.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do next?
Slowly edge forward and straighten myself.
Okay, I'll let you get on with that when you're ready. You might still be in reverse though, or are you in first?
I went into first.
Okay. Have another check in that left mirror now. You'll see you've opened up a gap.
Yeah.
And you'll just... Nice one. Alright, sorted that out quite nicely, yeah. Now, what would be the problem with, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be a problem. It could be a problem, though, if you left your car here like this. You know, a real life situation.
No parking.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sign that somebody's just put up there. I mean, yeah, they don't want us to park there but it's not a designated entrance or anything. Out of courtesy, you might not park here overnight, but we're just practicing, and it's not a legal requirement. But if you see how close we are here,
yeah,
that's great in terms of like accuracy in there. But if somebody parked behind us the same closeness,
you'll be stuck.
you're gonna struggle to get out, aren't you? So at this point, I would always reverse it back a bit so that no matter how close they get behind me, I can always get out.
Sort of prepare yourself to get out as well.
Think about the worst,
Okay.
worst case and prepare for it. Anyway, that's just something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
What about getting back out? Are you going to be able to do your rolling start on this one, do you think?
Yeah, I'll make sure that I'm right on the edge of the bike point, so as soon as I release my handbrake and brake, I instantly start to move back, so I don't roll forward and hit the car.
So you couldn't roll out on this one then? 'Cause you went forwards last time, didn't we? Didn't reverse.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's too close to do that?
Well, we're sort of on a flat, aren't we? So.
I mean, could you just put it in first and just roll out like we did
No,
before? No,
too
it's too
close.
close. That's all I wanted from you.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure, we discussed all the possibilities really, and it's all tying in together.
Yep.
Yeah, so what do you want to do? Do you want to try it again in a busier situation, or how do you feel?
I don't know really, I think, what would you suggest?
I think it might be worth it.
Just practice it a bit more in...
Just take more time to assess everything around you first.
Okay.
Especially if they're still if they're not really slowing,
Yeah.
you haven't worked out what they're going to do yet, because they could, well, that means they're going to keep coming. And so the next thing, when you started that manoeuvre and that white van was coming, the next thing is you would have put left turn on and done this. But if that van's still coming towards you over the pavement, 1 mile on the pavement, 1 mile on the road, which I've seen them do many times, taxi drivers, the lot, you're not going to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're either going to crash, or we're going to force them through that fence or into that brick wall into his lovely caravan over there.
Yeah.
Nice caravan, that. Anyway.
Expensive.
Yeah, and the car by the looks of it. Don't know what model that is. It's not a Cougar, is it? A new Cougar. I thought they brought out like a different 4x4 for Ford. Could be a Cougar.
I think so.
Anyway,
Yeah.
shall we use the same place so we ain't driving around looking for...
Yeah, I think that'd be a good...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then. I'll leave you to it, shall I?
Yeah.
Or if I feel you're not responding the way you should be, like I did last time, I'll just...
Yeah. Try it through the car windows, see if there's cars coming. Need to get out
see it change in a split sec. So you've got to keep really up to date with them. Keep that on though, because you're quite close to the left tyre. It's fine though, but you want this sharpness or else you're not. That's it. There. And then take it off when you're straight. Not before though, because or else you'll end up crooked when you stop.
Yeah. So carry on back until it's straight.
Until your tyres are straight, yeah. So when you reverse back, you're in a straight line, because you could forget you've got to turn on your tyres otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, just secure it. How did you find that? What's your thoughts?
I think definitely better, like coming in the procedure, but so I'm quite far away from the car, aren't I?
You're closer than a lot would be. You know, with this route, in terms of the test, you've got 2 car lengths to complete your manoeuvre. There could be, you could be like, this is your first car length with a reasonable gap in between. You could have a reasonable gap behind us, and then another car length.
Oh.
I'm talking in terms of the test though. I think it's clear to say you could park in real life as well, isn't it? If you wanted to park in real life and be closer than this when you land, i.e. your front bonnet closer to its front bonnet, what would you have done sooner? Just so I know you know. If not, I'll fill in the blank for you.
Probably would have turned in a bit sooner.
Yeah, when exactly? What's the reference point?
Sort of like when you're back of your car's literally just past the bonnet.
Yeah, or if that's the other way, it's back end of its car, yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you steered slightly later that time, and that's why it's just a little bit further back.
What, turning left to come in?
You started full lock. So, normally, here's the other car. You normally steer when you, like you say, just past.
Yeah.
That time you was probably about nearly halfway past, and then you're full locked.
Oh, okay.
So you're always going to be, instead of being here when you land, you're going to be further back, aren't you? And that's all that happened there.
Oh, okay.
You was a bit slower
Yeah.
on the manoeuvre. Did you feel that benefited?
Yeah, I was just trying to keep controlled and sort of like not worry about. I was obviously watching for cars, but I wasn't letting them sort of pressure me to hurry up.
What do you think about the blue Mondeo that come down, the blue car that was when we first started the manoeuvre? What's your thoughts on how that went?
Obviously I watched and I went, is he going to stay there or not? So I didn't roll back, and I was just waiting to see if he's actually going to, because normally you can see if someone's going to just sit there or not, and he was sort of hesitating, so I went, I'll just stay here and let him go round because there was room. So.
And the next thing you know, exactly what you just said happened.
Yeah.
They did have enough, because what they expect is you to just go zzz, 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 done, and that's not really going to happen. Some people aren't prepared to wait 10 seconds for you. So yeah, if their wheels are still rolling and they're getting closer and closer,
just stop.
So I'm glad we did it again just for the sake of that, because you've experienced now what I said. Pause and let's really see what they're really going to do.
Yeah.
Give it some time, because if you'd have rushed, if you'd have felt, oh, he's stopped, but not really, and you started moving, that could have been a situation there, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the same with all the manoeuvres, Jack. Whatever you're doing, you know, you just pause and decide what's happening, but don't rush. How are you feeling about the manoeuvre?
Yeah, I'm quite confident at doing it now.
Yeah. Ready to move on to the emergency stop?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. What we'll do, I think, is we'll drive nearer yours, and then we'll know how much time we've actually got then. Okay. So, do you want directions to get to yours, or do you want to sort of try and drive more independently?
I don't know where we are. So directions.
There's the answer to that one then.
Yeah.
All right then. Yeah, I forget you're not actually from Derby, are you?
No.
Alright, I'm not originally either. So,
Where are you originally from?
well, the West Midlands, this is the East Midlands, isn't it?
Ah.
So, like Walsall. I don't know if you ever heard of Walsall.
Yeah, yes and no.
Anybody watching from Walsall, sorry, but it's a dive. Where I was from anyway, so I'm glad to be in Derby. Sorry guys if that hits a nerve. I'm allowed to say it. I spent, how long? 16 years of my life there. It was actually Bloxwich, actually.
You wasn't going to say that, were you?
A bit aggressive, really, a bit abrupt.
I think it's because they're in a bigger car, they feel like they've got a right of way.
Yeah, and he's with his mates and he in his cab, and he's the driver, and you know there's a bit of an ego thing that can go on there as well, I think. Nice one, so you've realised.
Yeah, I realised.
I always go, tend to go handbrake neutral, reset mirror, if I remember. In theory, that's a good routine.
Yeah.
Handbrake neutral, reset door mirror, as one. Oh, it'd be a right turn at the end, Jack.
Sounds really bright, isn't it?
Glad to see you selecting first earlier anyway.
Yeah, it's...
So we could go. Oh, busking away at the cars with the cars there. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to sort of prepare yourself.
If you see it's clear and you're not in first yet, you're not ready to go, are you? That's the thing.
It's another second or two to get ready, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be a right turn at the lights, please.
Is that a cyclist? They look like a box.
It is. You're in the cycle box. We'll have a chat about that in a little bit. Oh, I don't want to take your concentration away here.
I think what you were saying last time, if you're coming up to the lights and they change orange, it's a new brake, so you don't go through a red light.
Yeah.
It's okay to go into the box because you're not jumping a red light.
Yes, it's the difference as to whether you go through or not. Yeah, it's called the advanced stop line, the second line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you're saying then, just so I know you know.
How do you mean?
Like, just in quick bullet point terms, what's the do's and don'ts there? You can do X if such and such, or...
Oh, yeah. Well, you can do what I just said, so if
Yeah.
the light changes and go in it, if it's like an emergency sort of thing,
Yeah.
you've done a jump the light.
Yeah. But if it's like what you just did, how's that? Is that okay or not?
No,
Why not?
because it's not made for us, it's made for cyclists to go in.
Yeah. And you had loads of time to slow down safely, didn't you?
Yeah.
So that's the
I think
difference.
the one reason why, well, the reason I did so was I couldn't actually see the box. So I sort of came up to it, I went, that's a line, and then that's another line.
The paint's often different colour as well within the box, so look for that. I think it was slightly green.
Green, wasn't it?
So
They should make it red, to be honest.
some are. Yeah, it's like some bus lanes, different colours. But I guess it's just looking at. Do you want me to help you to spot some of them in future, or
Yes.
what do you think it'd be? Okay. So here, what's probably best is if you use the right-hand lane for now. Make better progress in the right-hand lane. They all sort of kind of go the same way. And we're just following the road ahead, so no need for that signal now. And we just stay in the lane we're in all the way around here. It's third exit for city centre. Follow the lane you're in.
keep the car going, or?
When this traffic starts to slow down, I would put the clutch down and that will fire up the engine. So I'd keep my eye on this and I'd keep my eye on the shadow in the other lights that are facing that traffic. But mainly that traffic, if it's slowing or there's a gap, yeah, I'd go clutch down, first gear, you know, sort of that, yeah. So that we're gone on green, prepared on amber, gone on green.
It must be on timers that just sense it, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the timers work different at different times of day, I think.
Yeah, because rush hour is probably the worst, isn't it? Normally traffic-wise.
What do you reckon this Asda van's going to do?
Cut into ours.
Yeah.
Just trying to anyway.
It looks likely, could be wrong.
So we're following it. Staying in this lane, aren't we?
Yeah,
Following round to the left.
that's right. Not under the bridge.
Yeah.
So give a left signal. But don't change lanes or anything, it's just to say we're coming this way rather than that way. Cancel it now. So we're going to be following this road for about the next mile or so.
Could be a bit.
Yeah. I didn't say anything, so I could see you thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, just let him do what he needs to do.
I was watching the Asda van.
Right, okay. And we know his characteristics, so yeah. Do you think he might speed up into the space, or?
Yeah, that's why I was hesitating.
Okay. What do you think the best thing would have been done in terms of letting him know what your intentions are? I don't mean you're gonna do it.
Just indicate anyway.
Indicate anyway. You can always cancel it, can't you? So I think that was the missing piece of the puzzle there. What do you reckon? When it's safe, change lane to one to the left. Roundabout, follow signs for Burton, A38.
Second exit is middle lane, isn't it?
Yeah, you can use the middle. So what lane is this middle going to become?
The outer one.
Yeah, when you get just past that bollard on there, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just going to follow the left to exit then. So this has got an element of spiral on it, hasn't it? Because the left just disappears off.
So should I have my right indicator on?
I would do, yeah. Because you can also go straight on
Yeah.
from here. Well, kind of left, but
Yeah.
it just clears up to these guys where you're going, and also the guys behind, because they might be going straight on. So they might be expecting you to speed up, but you're not gonna, because you've got a turn to do to the right. I'll swap it for a left. Hold up. Making sense?
Slowly getting it.
Is that work that all the talking we've done about spiral roundabouts today been help? Like, has that helped to further your understanding? Do you think a little bit?
Yeah, I think.
That's only the beginning as well. We're going to do more.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying you think what?
Yeah, it's definitely helped. Just get me understanding of it.
So it's, first of all, it's knowing where you want to go, what number exit, and then it's casting your eyes far enough forward to see how you're going to get there. Nicely handled there. So what do you think could have happened to that roundabout earlier then, if you'd have been in your own car? You know that mini roundabout?
Yeah. I don't know, to be honest. I think if it was the same scenario, I think I probably would have gone, but now overthinking it, I wouldn't have. Because learn from a mistake. So, yeah. I don't know, I was just saying.
You know, in terms of there being no, because I pressed the controls, didn't I? I stopped you from going. That car was like literally right in front of us. The fact there was no controls in your car, what do you think what do you think the end outcome probably would have been? I'm not saying you would have crashed.
They would have.
You could have. They'd have hit us really hard, wouldn't they? Really, and straight into you as well, on your side.
Over a lane, can't
You could do if you think you're going to benefit from it, yeah. 2 lanes there to be, you know, make progress. Both for the same direction. So shall we use that spiral roundabout to turn towards Burton A38 at the end and get nearer yours, and then we can sort out how much time we got for the emergency stop?
Okay.
Do you want me to up my instruction a little bit and just point out how to navigate it? Have you got stuck from coming this direction approaching before?
No, it was coming
Back.
through Mickleover, and we were coming round to come down here. I went into the lane, sort of my lane followed, but I wanted to go over another 2 lanes to actually go round the roundabout properly, which, yeah, I just got confused.
Yeah. What's he doing behind us?
On his phone.
So when we drive off, do you think he might still be on his phone? Just finishing writing that text message as he's driving off?
Possibly.
Could be, couldn't he? So when we slow down later on, there's going to be lights and stuff down there, or it could be back in.
Keeping on.
You know the one, yeah. And give them early, longer brake signals.
Yeah.
Keep him alert. Make him think early.
Not gonna go anywhere.
Jesus Christ. Gotta laugh, hadn't you? If you didn't, you'd cry. You know what that is though? It's a lack of concentration.
Yeah.
It's not really looking at what's going on around. It's just, I don't know, just spare of the moment, just
Smoking as well. Or vaping.
yeah, like I say, not paying attention. I didn't know they were doing that at that point. Don't say that noise is coming from that Corsa, please.
It's not, it's BM. I think it's BM. Through him.
I was going to say, sounds a bit meaty for a Corsa. so
Sounded nice though.
yeah, I was behind an M4 the other day.
Yeah,
They got in the
M3.
They got in the car, turned the engine on. Jesus,
Yeah.
it was just like it sounded good anyway. So, what number exit is it then, Jack? Third, right. So from that we can draw it's a right turn, yes?
M5, actually.
So from that we can draw what lane we need to start with. And we're looking for paint on the floor. Burton A38. A38. Yeah, can use the other one. We'll use this one because it spirals. The other one might not spiral. I think it will actually. So we know we're in the right at the moment.
Yep.
So we're going to go right to right on the roundabout. And we're going to look for further notice. So straight to the right, but look, it opens up and here's yours now. See how that works?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't take this, you wouldn't be able to take this next exit. Unless you did a lane change. So left signal on, because you could go either. Keep in your lane. And now look to change lanes properly when it's safe, if you want to. See what I mean? Just because you've got left signal on doesn't mean you've got to come across to the left, stay in the lane you've exited in is safest. Because most people there, imagine that guy's on your left. You know his capabilities. One press of the gas, he's up on your inside. Now, I don't know if you saw the number plate.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he might not know where he's going. So what I'm saying is expect mistakes from others. It was a bit of a silly move, weren't it? Strange. I didn't feel like you was particularly slow on that slip road. Did you?
No.
Because that could sometimes encourage that behaviour. What might the van do? So you're doing the right thing there, not closing that gap. Do you want directions to yours from here?
No, probably from here.
Okay, I'll leave you to that then. When we get closer, we'll find somewhere to do the next manoeuvre.
I'm surprised that M5 didn't just zoom off.
Yeah, I am too.
I was like...
I was expecting something fancy, was you?
Yeah.
Maybe
I was
not.
waiting for him to come off the bend and just put his foot down.
I'd love to do car reviews.
Yeah.
Now on my YouTube channel. Got about 4.5k subs now.
Yeah, I saw.
It's really growing now.
Grown really quickly in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Sometimes 100 subs a day, roughly.
What's that from? Just other people telling you?
Suggested videos, because I'm working really hard on it. I'm putting video on every day, and because if you do that and you get that cycle going, YouTube then suggests you, puts you in suggested videos, so people are much more likely to click on and subscribe and that.
I might do that, man. Because I've just started a gaming channel.
Have you? Fair play. I can help you if you need any tips in that. I can.
Yeah.
Well, I'm no expert, but I'm always learning. I spent hours last night researching stuff, for example.
It's pretty basic what I'm doing.
Do you want to give a shout out to your gaming channel for anybody watching?
It's called The Boy Gamer.
The Boy Gamer.
Yeah, it's a picture of a Pagani Huayra. So if you know what that looks like, you can click on that and subscribe, please.
Good stuff, good stuff. So what sort of games have we got on that? What sort of...
We'll be doing everything from racing games to action to everything.
You have to unlock that, but you can do it.
It's like 10,000 subs in it.
Well, you can do. I'm not sure. You can do it anyway. You don't have to do it through YouTube. So let's turn left. First exit. Yeah, I'd love to do car reviews. Anything behind us?
No.
Really not a good place to stop and ask for directions. Right off a roundabout. That's quite a fast paced one as well. Made me feel a little bit vulnerable sat there like
I was
that.
literally just sitting, I was like, please don't let a car just come out of nowhere.
I know, yeah. Spoil our Friday.
Yeah.
Don't want that, do we? Alright then, Jack. When it's safe, just pull up at a safe place when there is one. There's no rush.
Do it after the bus stop.
Yeah, fine. I suppose we've got a slightly longer view down here as well.
Yeah.
And others have, therefore. So you got any videos on there yet, Jack?
Yeah, I've got 3 at the moment.
When did you make those?
The other day, but they're pretty basic at the moment.
Well, you're starting off, aren't you? You've got to start somewhere. And you just keep adding in and adding in as you
Yeah, because
go.
I'm only using because my graphics card, it can record your gameplay, so I literally just use that. So I can't really
awesome.
edit it, but
Because
it's
you
still 1080p. I can do 4K as well, so
Yeah.
it's pretty good. So I'm glad I got the graphics card I did.
Because Jack, you built your own computer, didn't you? Is
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, custom built computer.
It's pretty cool as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know where to
I've got a
start.
picture of it. I'll show you when we get back.
Yeah.
but It's a beast.
Is it like a spaceship, that sort of thing? Like,
There's different sizes of case, so you can have
Yeah.
like just a normal ATX, and then you have like a mid tower, and then a tower. Mine's a super tower, and it's like people call it the size of a mini fridge. It's massive.
yeah.
Yeah, I won't need to upgrade to a bigger case.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, let's before we head back, let's have a look at your emergency stop. Have you done any research into this? Because I know I've got some
I've
videos
seen
on there.
like one video, but it was a couple of years ago. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. Just wanted to see one.
Right, okay. It's not probably not as extravagant as you might, as it sounds. It's just stopping the car under control. Stop it like promptly and under control. That's about it, really. There's a couple of ways we can go about it. I can just demonstrate it, or I can talk you through. It's not something I can guide you through live because it happens very quick and it just wouldn't work like that. So what would you prefer, Jack? Or I can do both. I can show you a visual, or I can demonstrate. If we swap over, it's completely your call, really.
I think a demonstration would be quite good actually, because then I can sort of feel what it's meant to feel like, if that makes sense.
All right. Okay, let's do that then. Okay, so you're not necessarily going to be asked to do this on your driving test. It's, I believe, statistically, 1 in every 3, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
You might be asked to do this as well as another manoeuvre. Okay. The instruction is going to be stop.
Okay.
And
Literally just that.
yeah, I'm going to put my hand out and say stop. Don't do anything until I or the examiner, because it'll be the same.
Yeah.
Everything's the same in these lessons as the test, so there's no change on purpose, and the terminology pretty much. So don't do anything until I give those signals, because what I'm keen to happen is for you not to stop if there's something behind us.
Yeah.
So there's going to be no mirrors on this, right? It's the one you don't use any mirrors on. It's really, really important you don't, because it could take an extra second off your overall stopping time. So the key is, it's not. We're not saying it's not important for you to know what's around you. It is, but the trick is to be driving to the conditions in the first place, and to be up to date with the mirrors anyway.
I was about to say, you should already know what's around you.
Exactly.
You should be looking at mirrors.
And if you can't see as far as the distance you believe you can stop within, does that make sense?
Yeah.
You need to slow down basically if you can't.
You need to know your car's capable of braking within that distance.
Yeah, and this is the other thing, and this is why I would say to you, in your car, now that we've done this, practice it. Just make sure, so when I ask you in a minute, I'm going to check my mirror, as will the examiner, and check my shoulder before I do it. In my case here, I can see everything in this mirror behind me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to actually check my own shoulder. I'm just going to look in this, and I'm going to say stop, and then you know how long it's took for me to stop from the point I've said it.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright. So it's going to be brake, 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 clutch down.
Okay.
You've got to brake first, then clutch down, because otherwise we'll end up coasting. It'll take longer to stop, because we lose engine braking the second the clutch goes down.
Yeah.
So we want the clutch up for as long as possible, because we're only going to be practicing it at speeds of around 25 to 30. Obviously the clutch ain't going to take that long before we need to press it down.
Yeah.
The brake, I would describe it as firm and progressive, right? So you're not going, because that's really going to damage potentially the car and our necks, and we could skid if it's on a, you know, so we're going to go brake, 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 clutch.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
There's other bits I can tell you, but I'll tell you those in little bits, so it's not all at once.
Yeah.
Right. Now, there's cars in the distance, they're well in the distance, and if I was moving off to drive, I'd go. But because I'm not going to move off, because if to stop with something behind me would be suicidal, and I'm not going to do it. Sometimes you might pull up and the examiner will say, next thing I'm going to do is emergency stop. Don't do anything until I give the signal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then you might move off and a car appears behind you. If that is the case, the examiner may say to you, we're not going to do the emergency stop now. Okay? There's one in the distance, and then after this one, I believe we're gonna go. Yeah. No need for a signal, nobody to benefit from one. So let's have a look. I'm gonna practice it around 25, 26-ish. Is that car pulling out behind me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pull in, let it pass. I'm going to try it again. Yeah, I wondered why she was slowing, looking to do something as well, I think. I do like the Golfs.
Yeah.
I really
I like the new R32s.
Yeah, they're dead nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I like the I do like the GTIs as well.
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering something real good for the next car.
I'll just pay another lesson and just drive it.
Yeah, well, I bet many people would. I know I would.
Yeah.
If somebody had a car and said, like, you know, do you want to go for an hour's drive? Yeah. 30 quid an hour, 35, 40 quid an hour? Yeah, I will, thanks.
I learned in a 230 brake work GTI.
Yeah. Alright then, so nothing moving behind us. So I'm going to do it in a minute.
Yeah.
So, stop, brake, 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 clutch.
Okay.
See how you lurch forward a bit at the end of your seat? You need to do that. Handbrake straight on as soon as you stop.
Yeah.
Tight grip on the wheel as you're stopping. Now prepare, observe all the way around. There could be a cyclist coming through on this left side. I am going to give a signal for that one. Nothing behind me, mind, but for that one, because it could want to turn into that driveway.
Yeah.
Even though it hasn't got a signal on. So, that was the emergency stop.
Alright.
What's your thoughts?
stamp on the brakes, you really do stamp on the brakes, but here you've got to, you quickly ease on the brake, so it quickly, yeah, I see what you mean.
It'll avoid any initial lock of the wheels. Now you have got ABS.
Yeah.
ABS, I'm guessing a man of your calibre will know what ABS is. What's
anti-lock brake system.
Yeah, I know you're into cars and stuff. So what? I'm just going to turn it around.
Yeah.
What do they do again?
Well, the brake calipers effectively just do that like really quickly to just stop you locking up your front wheels.
Yeah. Are they absolutely going to work every single time, all the time?
No.
So if they don't work and you feel a skid and the skid continues and doesn't sort itself out,
just ease off the brake a tiny bit so it don't lock up.
Left reverse, look. Yes, well, I wouldn't ease off. I would almost, I'd describe it as you'd pump the brakes. You'd come off and back on.
Just
yeah. Because the very reason you're pressing the brakes in such a manner means you got to stop. So if you ease off, you're gonna not stop in time still potentially.
Yeah, I suppose if you come off and go back on really quickly, it's half a second instead of a second.
Yeah, and it really, really makes a difference. So yeah, that's it really. I mean, do you want me to, now that you know it, I can guide you through, or do you want to give it a go? How do you feel?
Yeah, I think it'd be good to have a go.
So I'll leave you to it, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to park here, I'll be within 10 metres of that junction. There's a car behind me, so I will be signalling when I'm pulling to park. I feel quite right parking there because of the hill and stuff, to be honest. They've got the bus stop there, junction, driveway, bit of a bend, bit dodgy parking here. It's okay to park on bend, but it depends how far you can see around really.
Yeah.
When it straightens up. Here it's becoming, oh, there's a junction there. God, there's junctions everywhere.
That car just, I know. Yeah, it's got it. Yeah, it's a dent in the bonnet.
Right. I'm going to pull into the side road because we'll have gone down the whole street before I park. Before I, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, park. Thinking about 5 things at once. Alright, I'll just turn it round and then...
Yeah. One thing I'm surprised I did get rid of is the 3-point turn.
Sorry?
One thing I am surprised I got rid of is the 3-point turn.
Yeah, useful skill. As you see here, very necessary.
Yeah.
And I think now going forward, that's the time we should be teaching it. I think now is... you know, when it comes up, because then it's relevant.
Yeah, I've had to do one before in my car when I dropped I took my sister to her friends and my aunt, my mum and my uncle in the car, and I had to sort of turn around in like that. So
It's knowing, sorry.
Yeah, so I did it, so it's good.
There's a couple of key points really, and I think the way I'm doing it now going forward, it's just naturally felt like that is, I'm teaching it as skills rather than a turn in the road.
Yeah.
It's more...
You got to know how much your turning circle is and everything.
And where to look and when how long to get the steering, how long to keep the full lock on, when to start taking it off.
Yeah.
There's a couple of crucial bits that if you look in the right place at the right time, you can make it round in 3 rather than 5, for example.
Yeah.
But we can go. If you, I mean, we can purposely, and that's what the sat nav leads you to as well. Sometimes dead ends.
Yeah.
And so we could purposely drive down a dead end at some point and look at it if you want.
Yeah, don't mind.
Yeah. So we'll swap over. It's quite a nice little. What do you call it? Cul-de-sac.
What for?
This little thing. No, there's quite nice houses in that. Quite big, aren't they? Okay, so just, of course, we're going to turn right at the end and just wait for the signal.
Right.
Don't do anything until I say stop. You don't want instruction, do you, just to be clear? You said?
Yeah, I don't think you really have time to give me in, so would you?
It's all very quick, yeah.
It's all very sudden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turning right, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I wait until there's a massive gap? So
Yeah, make sure there's nothing coming. Just for the sake of what we're doing. I also won't have a chance to do it. I mean, it's quite a busy road anyway, to be fair. We'll probably bet. I'll tell you what, let's drive nearer yours. And then we can do it there, I reckon.
So just wait for... I was going to wait for... Shall I wait for the bus to go first?
Probably best, because if you get behind that truck, you're going to have poor visibility around that left bend, aren't you? So I think that's quite a good... Is that what you were thinking, or...?
Yeah, I was like, it's coming quite quickly.
Yeah, and you could see how poor the visibility was when we were just there then.
Yeah.
So... Well, there isn't anything behind us. If that stays the same, and I don't see anything appear at these junctions, I may ask you on this road. We just don't want to put ourselves in an unnecessary risk, that's all. There is a car well it's in the distance, but I don't want to be in the middle of the road because they'll confuse people. So a couple of minutes will be at yours, won't we, or near your area, and then we'll do it over there. I think we can use that long stretch where we did lesson 1. There's a few speed bumps there, but we can still get to about 25 and do the stop, I reckon.
Yeah.
You know that road with the mini roundabout at the end?
Yeah.
I can't think of one better than that.
I think, actually no, I might know actually some way we can do it. If we go sort of right down to the bottom, sort of a longish road, that will give us enough time to go and stop.
Yeah. I think you'd have had time anyway, even if that was coming. You know, if you just left your clutch up and just stayed at that speed. Worth thinking about. That white Peugeot was a good distance away from you, wasn't it, as well? So if you both stayed at the same speed, the gap would remain the same between you.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. So just to be clear, I will not be asking you to do the stop on here. Take us there, wherever it is.
Yeah.
I ain't got a clue where you mean.
I'm trying to remember it now as I'm driving, because I've only been in like one. Just go straight down.
It's not that far, is it?
No, it's literally just
Yeah, right, yeah.
down there.
So which way is it? Right or straight on?
Straight on.
Okay, fair enough.
This whole estate, you can drive around the whole thing and it all joins up together.
Oh, does it? That's useful to know.
Yeah.
Oh, this road would be good for it.
Yeah, you can use this if you want.
Yeah, so if you just drive on, pick up a bit of speed, nothing behind us. keep speeding up. Stop. Okay. What's next then? To secure the car.
Handbrake.
Yeah, straight on. First gear. Hand on hand. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, just two things you need to be a bit quicker on is handbrake on as soon as you stop, just because of the nature that you stopped. If somebody plows into the back of you, you could come flying forwards, or you could stall if you come off the clutch or whatever. And I think a bit firmer, a bit more progressive with the brake, but not far off there for a first attempt. Normally it takes a couple of attempts to get the right firmness, so yeah, just loop it back round to yours. Right signal on, don't forget. So I'm guessing that.
There was down there as well.
Yeah.
That's your place.
I just didn't expect to see that big church.
Yeah.
Obviously that was here long before these houses.
Yeah.
Strange one. Churches everywhere though, when you look. There's loads of them in Derby town, like right next to each other. So we'll have another look. Are you clear with what you need to do differently? Yeah. Keep at the speed. We're all going to be stopping. Stop.
That's really bad.
And the second bit you need to do differently? Yeah, a bit quicker there, so...
Yeah. I went on the brakes, I barely touched the brakes.
Yeah, you got to be a bit firmer. Good. So yeah, those two things is what we need to develop, isn't it, really? Try and, if it's safe to, I mean, get to know the capabilities of your own car anyway, but practice that, and we'll have a recap of that next week and see where you're at with it. Okay. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Also, if you do brake hard and something doesn't feel right, it might be a clue that something's not right with your vehicle, for example. So I'd always, every car I get, I always test it out. So I do just. Okay. So, end of the session. How do you feel it went?
Yeah, it went well. We've done what we've said we'd do at the beginning, which is good. Get my hang of the parallel parking, and then just need to know to practice with the emergency braking just then, so a bit firm on the brakes and handbrake pretty much as soon as you stop.
Yeah. What have you learnt today with your manoeuvres then, with manoeuvring in general in the road?
To definitely not rush it, and then just be aware of what the car may be behind you or in front of you is going to do, because like that car that just went round us when I was waiting. So yeah.
Yet the other white van, the first white van, was moving slowly but didn't go around us. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just keeping up to date, isn't it?
The other thing is, if you rush, you might not see them start moving around you because you're trying to rush yourself and get out, and that could create a bit of a. So yeah, I'm glad that we went over that. It's the next sort of phase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dealing with traffic whilst manoeuvring, and so we'll carry that forward to the others. What we've got is pulling up on the. We're done pulling up on the right, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got bay parking to do, haven't we?
Yes.
But I guess the same thing we did on the right park, didn't we? When we was reversing backwards, and there was cars coming.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we don't. I should have asked you this earlier, but I forgot that we did the right park.
Yeah.
Pull up on
the
the right, not parking necessarily, but
yeah. Yeah, you got to be aware of obviously what's coming behind you and in front of you when you pull over and even reversing backwards.
I mean, yeah. Go on, you were going to say.
Oh, that was what I was going to say.
So, you know what you need to do with the emergency stop. Spiral roundabouts.
Yeah.
do you feel you're a bit further forward with that
Yeah.
to where you were at the beginning?
Yeah, I feel a bit more sort of need to know. As you said, like, find where you're going, which exit is, and get yourself in that lane by using the road markings and sort of working it out.
Great. That was going to be my next question. What's there that wasn't there before? And you've just told me, so great. So let me know how you get on this week with your, if you do any,
Yeah.
how that helps. And it might give us a starting point for what we're going to do next lesson.
Yeah.
What would you like to, is there anything that you're unsure about? Or anything that didn't make sense today? Or that maybe I've missed and I haven't covered, do you feel?
Not really, I think. Well, no, not really. I think
Okay.
covered everything, which is good.
So have a think about what sort of things you'd want to do next lesson. You might want to pick up with emergency stop. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
And then, you know, whatever else you feel is relevant. If you haven't got a plan, of course, I'll help you to come up with one at the beginning, but it's always good if you reflect and it's coming from you, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that'll do.
Yeah.
Happy?
Yes.
Good stuff.